I will try to add to our videos this screen with the answers to the previous quiz, so you can also work. We can, if you check the video, if you check the YouTube channel. Sorry, the YouTube channel that I put on. You're gonna have at least this help here to submit to complete the quiz. Okay, so moving on. This is our month of December, the calendar. Just forget about this first line that is wrong. This is from November. So delete this first line and check this out. Oh, okay, thank you. I'm gonna think about it. All right, this is the calendar for December. Check this out. You just have 2 weeks to complete chapter 2. So we are here on November 30, and we have 2 weeks to complete chapter 3. The third week of December, we have midterm exams, flex days, and then the end of the second quarter. What I suggest you is to work a little bit hard this 2 weeks here, so you don't need to be worried about anything else on the last week of the work here on the midterms and exams. You can be focused on the exams and the previous assignments. Work on it. Try to complete these things that if you didn't submit yet, complete. Send me a message. I will update your grade because I want to give you a good grade, an excellent grade for this second quarter. Okay, and the second quarter ends on December 18. So you still have a few weeks. You have 3 weeks to work on our grades, to improve our grades, to boost our grades, and I want to give you an excellent grade for the second quarter. Moving on, this is the calendar for December. A really quick review on the chapter 3. We have seen a few weeks ago the graphing method, remember? And the graphing method, since we are working online, we are working on the computer, I've shared with you the graphing calculator that we have free online, available online. So you can work on the graphing calculator, but I suggest you to try to do some of the questions, some of the work by hand. Get some graphing paper, some pencil and rulers, and try to work by hand. And after that, you check with the graphing calculator. You check online to see if your answer is correct. And applying the graphing method is very easy to visualize that you can have 3 different situations, 3 different cases, right? The first case, when the graphs, they meet at one point, they cross at one point, and then this is the case when you're going to have one solution. The next case is where the graphs, the lines, they are parallel and they don't cross. They don't have one point in common, so these will have no solution. And the third case is when one line is on top of the other, and then you're going to have infinitely many solutions if the graphs, the lines are coincident. We saw this by applying the graphing method, but this is also the same situations you're going to find if you apply the substitution method, and the same situations you're going to find if you apply the addition method. And again, no matter the method that you use, for the same system of equations, you're always going to have the same solution. There's no way you apply one method and you find a different solution than the other method. All the methods, no matter what method you apply, you're always going to find the same solution for the same system of equations. And after we have seen the graphing method, then we learn how to use the substitution method. Remember this? Apply step 1, step 2, step 3. And we work it with each one of these steps we work it one day in step 1, another day we work in step 2, and then another day on step 3, and then we put together all the steps. And if you understood how to apply each one of these steps, then you are master on the substitution method. The problem of the substitution method is different from the graphing method. You're not going to see the graph, you're not going to see the lines. It's only calculations, right? You're just doing a lot of work by calculating with numbers, with math operations. It's only calculations. But if you follow this step by step, you're not going to get lost. Sometimes when you're doing lots of calculations, you kind of get a little bit lost, right? But what's important here is to follow this step by step, and then you're not going to get lost. Substitution method, we've finished, we've practiced, and if you know this step by step, you are a master of the substitution method. And today we will see a new method, a different method. It's the addition method. Let's skip this thing here. The addition method is a way of solving system of linear equations. Is a new way, another way, a different way. You can choose the method that you think is the best one for you. The procedure for the addition method is going to be this one here. The first step, write both equations in standard form. The second step, clear fractions and decimals to make your work easier. And the third step, which is actually the most important step, multiply one or both equations by a number. Why do you need to multiply? Why do you need to do this? This is the step that I think is the most important one. Because on step number 4, you will add the equations and eliminate one of the variables. And you're going to see how it works on the examples, okay? So pretty simple, keep it simple. On this addition method, this is the most important step. You're going to multiply one or both equations by a number. You're going to choose the number, it's your choice. And then after you add, you need to eliminate one of the variables. Okay? Let's see how it works on the example. Step number 5, you solve the remaining variable, and 6 and 7, you check your solution. Focus here, focus on step number 3, okay? Focus on step number 3. The other steps are just kind of a help to reach step number 3 and then solve the equation. Solve the system, I mean. Let's work on this example here. Solve the system by addition method, and we have equation number 1. Let's say this is the first one on the top is going to be equation number 1. The next one on the bottom, let's say, is equation number 2. And let's check this step by step. Okay, let's apply this step by step here. First step of the procedure, write both equations is in standard form. Check this out. We don't need to change anything. Both equations already are on standard form, so that's it. We don't need to change. We don't need you can skip step number 1. Now step number 2, clear fractions or decimals. We don't have any fractions, we don't have any decimals. You can skip step number 2. Step number 3, this is the most important step. Step number 3, multiply one or both equations by a number. And we will do this, we'll do this step number 3 to be able to eliminate one of the variables. So let's work here in green. I choose here, my choice is to eliminate y. I want to eliminate a negative for y. That's my objective. To be able to eliminate negative for y, I need to have positive for y on the other equation. So I will multiply my decision, my choice, is to multiply the second equation here by 4. I'm going to multiply by 4. Let me work here. I'm going to repeat the first one. Repeat the first equation. 3x minus 4y equals 2. Okay, repeat the first equation. And let's write down the second equation, but multiplied by 4. Multiply 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16x. 4 times y plus 4y. And 4 times 9 is equals to 36. Okay. Now we can add additional methods, add both equations. So add equation number 1 with equation number 2 that I multiplied by 4. Check this out. We can, if we add negative 4y plus 4y, it's going to be 0. 3x plus 16x, 19x. And 2 plus 36, 38. 19x plus 0 equals 38. That's what I wanted. I wanted to get rid of y, because now I can find the solution for x. Divide both sides of the equation by 19, then x equals 38 divided by 19, x equals 2. And that's it. That's the solution. That's the solution, x equals 2. The next step here is to find y. I think this is an easy step to find y, because you just need to plug in x equals 2 into one of the equations. The first or the second, doesn't matter. Let's do it. Let's plug in on the second equation, okay? So right now here the second equation, repeat the second equation here, 4 times x plus y equals 9. Now plug in 2 into the second equation. Let's plug in here 4 times, instead of x, plug in 2 plus y equals 9. 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus y equals 9. If 8 plus y equals 9, y equals 1. That's it. Now we have the whole thing, the whole solution. X equals 1, x equals 2, x equals 2, and y equals 1. Any questions at all? Any comments? Talia is asking here, so are we required to use this method today, or is this optional? I'm never going to know which method you're using. You can use any method. If you give me the solution, is the right solution, I don't mind. I suggest you to use the addition method today on the quiz, because the quiz is kind of the system is ready to apply the addition method. It's going to be the easiest one. Okay, if you try to apply substitution methods, it's not going to be as easy if you apply addition method. So I suggest you to apply addition method on the quiz today. But if you want to apply substitution method, graphing method, it's up to you. The solution is always the same. Thank you, Kalia, for the question. Any more questions, or we are ready to move on to go work on our quiz? If there are no questions, no comments, no feedback, and at this point, I think we are ready to work on our quiz. But first, as usual, let's try to answer the bell work. The bell work today is this Winter Fun Fair. Thank you, Ariel. It is about these tickets for the Winter Fun Fair. It's $150 is the price for kids, and $3 is the price for adults. The first day, 15,000 people was reached. We have 15,000 people on the first day, and $3,000 worth of tickets were sold. How many kids attended the first day? And you can apply, you can use here system of linear equations, and you can solve by applying the addition method. That's what I will try to do. So now, type your answer. What do you think is the right answer? As I told you, we can apply system of linear equations. We can say kids, the number of kids is x, and the number of adults is going to be y. If we add x plus y equals to 1,500, right? This is the total amount of people, kids plus adults, 1,500. And the amount of money, the money that was collected, is going to be 1.5 times x. 150 is each kid, plus $3 each adult. This is going to be 3,000. If I want to apply addition method here, we need, remember, the most important step. We're gonna add, right? But first, before adding, we're gonna multiply one or both equations by a number in a way that we will be able to eliminate one of the variables. So I will multiply the first, my decision, you can choose different numbers. My decision here is to multiply the first line, the first equation here, by 3. So 3x plus 3y equals 1,500 times 3, 4,500. And my decision here is to multiply the second line by -1. I multiply the second line by -1. So -1.50 minus 3 equals to -3,000. Okay? Now we can add both equations because we are able to eliminate y. Positive 3y minus 3y, 0. 3x minus 1.5x, 1.5 x. And 4,500 minus 3,000, 1,500. That means x equals 1,500 divided by 1.5. The number of kids is going to be equals to 1,000. So 1,000 is the right answer. Most of you got the right answer. Joniel, very close. Thank you, Joniel. Makina got the right answer. Ewil, Chris Diel, right answer. Kalia, thank you. Jacob, thank you. The right answer, 1,000. Jermaine, 1,000. And Madi, 1,000, yes. Anjali was the first one. Anjali was the first one to say 1,000. This is the right answer. Thank you all for participating. I think now we are ready to work on the quiz. Okay, the right answer here is going to be 1,000. So type here 1,000. Let's move to our quiz. The quiz today, you have to solve the system by using the addition method. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so you can work by yourselves. Let's just check out the first option here, the first question, letter A. If you add, remember that the most important step is to multiply. But first you have to check out if you need to multiply each of the equations. The first step of the procedure, make the equation, change it to look like the standard form. We don't need it looks like the standard form already. Second step, clear the decimals and fractions. We don't have decimals or fractions. And the third step, the most important step, to multiply by a number to make sure that you're going to eliminate one of the variables. And here we don't need to multiply because we're going to eliminate positive 3y with negative 3y. We eliminate y. Okay? So try letter A. Find the x for letter A. And another hint, for all the questions here, you have to find x. So the best thing, the best procedure is going to be to eliminate y. You can eliminate x and find y, but here, since the answer is going to be x, you have to give me the value of x. The best option is to eliminate y. Okay, I'll give you a couple of minutes, work by yourselves. Let me know if you need help. Let's work together here on letter C. Remember, for this addition method, we're going to add both equations, right? We're going to add both equations. Oops. And the objective is to eliminate one of the variables. Before adding the equations, you need to multiply one or both equations by a number of your choice. You're going to choose a number that will allow you to eliminate one of the variables. And I choose here is going to be my choice. Since we have negative 10y on the equation here on the bottom, I'm going to choose to multiply this first equation here by 5. I'm going to multiply the whole equation by 5. And before adding, let's do this. I'm going to multiply the first equation by 5. So 5 times 3, 15x, plus 2 times 5, 10y, equals 3 times 5, 15. Now we can add, because if we add here negative 10y with positive 10y, we eliminate y. 2x plus 15x, 17x, equals negative 32 plus 15, negative 17. Divide both sides by 17, and you're going to find x equals negative 1. Okay, so the answer here is going to be x equals negative 1. For E, well, probably is not right, Khalil. Let's check E. Let's work on E, because tomorrow I will show you how to identify if you have no solution, if you have infinite solutions. But here for this one, I think I just brought questions that all have one solution. Let's work here on letter E. Well, we have to add both equations, and we will eliminate. Since we're trying to find x, we're going to eliminate y. Okay, and my choice here is to multiply the second equation, the one on the bottom, by 2. So we're going to multiply this one by 2. 2 multiplied by 5, 10. 10 plus 3, 13x. Okay. 2 multiplied by negative 3, negative 6. Negative 6 plus 6, 0. And 2 multiplied by 23, 46. 46 minus 20, 26. Oops, 26. So 13x equals 26. Divide both sides here by 13. Divide both sides by 13. And you will find x equals 26 divided by 13. X equals 2. For letter E, x equals 2.